Hi, my name is Mike Hayes, and I'd like to spend a few minutes telling you about my book, The HTML Book, the perfect book for beginners. Some of the things I've made with my knowledge of HTML, this is one of the pages from mikehayes.nl, my website. Here's one I mocked up for this, the way you can use blocks of color. You can add images to underline that it's, in this case, a gem making center. List of links. Nice presentation, that one. Here's another one where I was experimenting with tables within tables, colors within colors. As you see, your world is your oyster when you're in charge of the coding and the design of your own website. Here's one I made for a little society I'm a member of here in Holland, the Commercial Anglo-Dutch Society. It's so easy, and most people are a bit scared of HTML, but you shouldn't be. Right, these are the things which are discussed in the HTML book. We talk about technical things and testing, we talk about lists, links, images, everything you need to get your first website or your first web page up and running. In the first section I talk about naming convention and getting your directories and your folders organized so you know where your pages are and where to test them from. Then in the next section we look at your first HTML document. Obviously this is quite a simple chapter. It's just telling you how you can manipulate the text, how you can add a bit of simple color to your page to underline certain points or to cause separation between paragraphs. And like all the chapters, this one ends with a recapitulation of the tags and the attributes covered in the section. As well as that, every chapter, every section is closed with an exercise, and this is to give you a chance to see if you learnt enough about the content of that section. And there's a book also supplied with all the coding, the solutions to all the exercises. We handle lists briefly. I don't use them very much myself, but they were worth mentioning, I thought. And then we get into some linking. First we look at linking within a page, so you want to link from the top of your page to the bottom or to another paragraph in it. Of course we look at external links, linking to other web pages, linking to other pages on your website. And I show you here, for example, you know when the cursor hovers above a link, you see down here the destination site it's going to. Well, I show you the instructions which enable you to cloak that and put a little sales message in instead of that URL name. Section 6, images, very important. How you can manipulate them. Here's the Mike Hayes photo gallery with all sorts of interesting subjects in. Oh, by the way, yes, you see the coding there. Every example in the book comes complete with the complete HTML coding for it. So you can just copy the coding and you've got your own photo gallery on your new web page. I show you how you can manipulate the photos in the pages to put the text around a photo, put the photos on top of or below the text. And I show you about random, what I call random linking. That's not really the right way to call it, but using map and use map tags, you can make something like this. And for example, if someone clicks in the red area, they would go to website red.com. They clicked in the blue area, they'd go to website blue.com. So that's a nice way you could organize some of your linking. And here again is all the coding needed to do that. Right, then we look at tables. Section 7 and 8 both deal with tables because there's quite a lot you need to know about tables. And I use the Dutch and the French flags for the first simple examples. Then I've got the Elvis Presley story to show a three-dimensional horizontal table. Then my knowledge of wines, or lack of knowledge of wines, becomes obvious in this three-dimensional vertical table. And I've done the table again, but instead of the names of the wines, I've put in the actual instructions which cause the table to be displayed that way. And the exercises, they're not that easy, these, but they're worth doing if you can get them done correctly. A chessboard and this yes, rather charming design tile. It's one of my own designs, of course. So they're the exercises for that. Then we carry on with tables in the next chapter. Ignore this rectangle, by the way, because when I did the screen capture, I obviously didn't see that thing there. So just ignore it, it's not supposed to be there. Right, here we talk about how you can organize the size and the colors of your borders of your tables, the space between the cells and the edges, and the space between the text and the edges of the cell. And here you see I've put the text, the instructions, the tags into the tables themselves. Section 9, forms. You may want to put an opt-in form on your website so people send you their email address. All sorts. There's about 4 or 5 different forms in section 9. Some of them showing you how people can select one thing from a list or select multiple choices from a list. Coding's all there as well, so you just have to copy the coding and you're up and running. And I also discuss obviously how you have to get the information, which form you get the information when the people have submitted the form to your website, in what form you can get it back, so it's readable and for you understandable, of course. And the exercise which closes the chapter on forms looks harder than it is. And again, the answers, the coding for all the exercises is in a separate book which I supply with the HTML book. And be accurate. I spend some time in this chapter pointing out little errors, silly errors, which are often made by people, and how you have to check for them. Right, and there's a color code chart. If you don't want to use red, white and blue, if you want to use more subtle colors, there's some hexadecimal codes which you can use. Right, that's about it. Oh, apart from the very important good to go guarantee which I give all purchasers, the what I call the 3G promise. If your site or page is not up and running on your PC within a reasonable time, then I guarantee the following. You may send 3 emails to our help desk for assistance for answers to questions. Not ask 3 questions, but submit 3 emails which may contain more than one question or problem. And it can cover clarification of something in the book, questions about a specific HTML function, in fact anything which may be affecting your program. No help, money back. That's the Mike Hayes 3G promise. Good to go guarantee. Right, thanks for your time. Almost finished. Now, it says here, linking to the HTML book company. If you're watching this on a public video space, then that won't happen. And in fact, if you're watching this on the website itself, this won't happen because it doesn't link to itself. But please do visit www.the-html-book.com. I'll say that again. www.the-html-book.com. Thanks very much for your time. Bye for now.